Welcome. Tonight we'll drift through the quiet world of mythical Pokémon. These are the rarest and most mysterious creatures in the Pokémon universe, each with legends that whisper of hidden powers, ancient myths, and untold adventures. As you settle in, we'll move slowly, one Pokémon at a time, uncovering 6 gentle facts about each of them. Think of it as a journey, beginning with the earliest mythicals and continuing through every generation, until we reach the newest secrets of today. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let's begin our story. Starting with the very first mythical Pokémon, Mew. Mew is often called the ancestor of all Pokémon. Legends say that within its tiny body rests the genetic code of every creature that has ever walked, swam, or flown in the Pokémon world. Because of this, many researchers believe that Mew is not just another Pokémon, but the very blueprint of life itself, quietly carrying the possibility of every form in existence. It is small, unassuming, and playful, yet it holds a power that stretches across history and nature. When Pokémon Red and Blue were first released, Mew wasn't even meant to be part of the game. One of the developers secretly slipped the data into the code at the last moment, hidden where no one would notice. This playful prank created one of the most famous mysteries in video game history. Children across the world traded rumors of how to catch Mew, from looking under a truck in Vermilion City to completing impossible tasks. For many, discovering Mew was their first brush with gaming legends. Unlike many Pokémon, Mew has an extraordinary gift. It can learn almost any move. Through TMs, HMs, and tutoring, Mew can adapt to nearly every battle situation. This mirrors its lore as the genetic ancestor, able to tap into the abilities of every other Pokémon. In a way, Mew is a symbol of adaptability itself, never locked into one style or strategy, but free to become whatever it wishes. Despite its importance, Mew is elusive and rarely seen. Trainers who describe encounters often speak of it floating lightly through the air, like a child at play, curious but cautious. Its light, pink body and long, thin tail give it an almost dreamlike appearance. Rather than radiating power, Mew feels delicate, as if its true strength is hidden beneath its playful exterior. In the Pokémon films, Mew is sometimes portrayed as mischievous, almost like a trickster spirit. It giggles as it darts between trees or vanishes behind stones, leading characters on gentle chases. But it is never threatening, more like a guide that tests others with riddles of patience and kindness. Mew reminds us that not every power is meant to be overwhelming. Some are meant to inspire wonder, and perhaps most enchanting of all is its shiny form. While the ordinary Mew is soft pink, the rarest version glows in a gentle blue. Seeing one is considered a blessing, almost like catching a glimpse of a dream before it fades. Mew begins our journey, not with fear or grandeur, but with quiet curiosity, the perfect first step into the realm of mythical Pokémon. If Mew is the ancestor of life, then Celebi is the guardian of time. Known as the time travel Pokémon, Celebi appears in forests and sacred places, often at moments when nature is in need of healing. Legends say that when Celebi visits, the grass grows greener, flowers bloom brighter, and the air itself feels lighter, as if time has turned back to a gentler season. It carries with it a sense of peace, like the renewal of spring after a long winter. Celebi's typing, grass and psychic, reflects this dual nature. The grass connects it to forests, growth, and renewal. The psychic element speaks to its mysterious power to slip through time, to see past and future as clearly as the present. Unlike fierce guardians or destructive forces, Celebi's role in mythology is tender. It nurtures, restores, and protects. Its presence is a promise that life can begin again, no matter how much has been lost. The design of Celebi is delicate, almost fairy-like. With its pale green body, small wings, and large blue eyes, it feels more like a gentle spirit than a fighter. In many ways, it resembles a forest sprite from folklore, the kind of being that appears in quiet places to guide those who are lost. Its shiny form is a lovely surprise too, replacing its natural green with a pink hue, giving the sense of a flower blooming at dawn. In the Pokémon games, Celebi has often been connected to hidden shrines. The Ilex Forest in Johto holds a sacred shrine where, through special events, Celebi can appear. This link between ancient shrines, sacred forests, and Celebi adds to its mythic aura. It is not a Pokémon you stumble upon in the tall grass. It is one you seek through ritual and patience, almost like answering a spiritual call. In the anime, Celebi is often portrayed as a traveler between times. It has carried characters into the past, shown them forgotten truths, and sometimes saved them from dangers by bending time's flow. But with this gift comes fragility. Celebi is often pursued or endangered, and it requires the care and protection of those who understand its gentle heart. Watching Celebi struggle reminds us that even guardians need guardians of their own. And so, Celebi rests in the imagination as a symbol of hope. It reminds us that time is not just a line, but a cycle. Even after loss, even after hardship, renewal is always possible. With Celebi's whisper, the past and future are never too far away, and the present moment blooms with possibility. Jirachi is often called the wish-granting Pokémon. According to legend, it slumbers in a deep, crystal-like state for 1,000 years, waking only for 7 short days when a new millennium begins. During that brief time, it listens for wishes written down by humans, gently absorbing them through the paper slips attached to its head. These slips resemble tanzaku, the colored papers used during the Japanese festival of Tanabata, when people write their hopes and tie them to bamboo trees. Jirachi embodies the spirit of those wishes, carrying dreams into the stars. Its steel and psychic typing might seem unusual for such a small and gentle creature, yet it fits perfectly with its celestial theme. The steel reflects Jirachi's diamond-hard resilience when it awakens, while the psychic connects to the mysterious forces of the cosmos. In moments of danger, the lore says Jirachi's body becomes as hard as steel, protecting it from harm as it fulfills the prayers entrusted to it. One of Jirachi's most famous traits is its signature move, Doom Desire. This attack summons a flash of energy from the heavens, striking the opponent 2 turns later with devastating force. In competitive play, it created a unique strategy of delayed pressure, as if Jirachi could bend time to align the stars in its favor. The name itself feels poetic, an echo of fate and destiny written in light. Despite these powers, Jirachi is depicted as a gentle and innocent soul. In the anime, it awakens with a playful, childlike personality, curious about the world around it after centuries of sleep. Its round eyes and small frame make it feel approachable, not intimidating. It grants wishes not out of duty, but out of joy, as though bringing happiness is its natural instinct. The mystery of Jirachi also lies in its rarity. For many years, the only way to encounter it in the games was through special distributions, such as events tied to movies or bonus discs. This rarity made Jirachi feel like a secret star in the Pokémon world, waiting to be discovered only by those who looked up to the night sky with hope. Perhaps the most comforting thought is that Jirachi doesn't need grand requests to respond. In the stories, even small, heartfelt wishes are said to reach it. A quiet prayer for friendship, love, or peace is just as powerful as any dream of victory. In this way, Jirachi reflects the very nature of wishing itself, that every hope, big or small, matters when carried gently to the stars. Deoxys is unlike any other mythical Pokémon. While many are tied to forests, oceans, or legends of creation, Deoxys has its roots far beyond the Earth itself. Its story begins as a simple space virus, drifting silently through the cosmos until it was struck by a mysterious laser. That sudden burst of energy transformed the virus into something new, an alien life form with intelligence, power, and the ability to change its very body. In this way, Deoxys feels less like a creature of myth and more like a visitor from the stars. What makes Deoxys truly unique is its ability to shift between different forms. Its normal form is balanced, but with just a change in its molecular structure, it can become attack form, overwhelming opponents with sharp, destructive power. When defense is needed, it reshapes itself into defense form, becoming solid and unyielding. And finally, its speed form allows it to move with unmatched swiftness, darting faster than the eye can follow. Each form is like a reflection of the universe's adaptability, showing that even a single being can hold many faces. The way Deoxys changes forms in the games also adds to its mystique. Trainers can bring it to special meteorites found in various regions, where the Pokemon's body will react to the stone's cosmic energy. This connection to meteorites emphasizes its extraterrestrial origin. It is as if Deoxys is forever tied to the remnants of its journey from the stars, still drawing strength from the fragments of space rock that fell with it. Deoxys's signature move, Psycho Boost, mirrors its explosive origin. The attack unleashes a blast of psychic energy, so strong that it leaves Deoxys weakened afterward, as if channeling such immense power comes at a heavy cost. In battle, it feels like watching a star collapse inward after a brilliant flare, dazzling and devastating, but never without consequence. In the Pokémon movies, Deoxys is often portrayed as a being struggling to find its place on Earth. Its alien nature can make it seem threatening, yet beneath its strange form lies curiosity, even longing. It is a reminder that not all outsiders arrive with harm in mind. Sometimes they are simply searching for connection, for a home in a world not their own. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of Deoxys is the way it embodies transformation itself. Just as stars are born, live and fade, so too does Deoxys reshape and evolve with the forces around it. Watching it reminds us that life, even life from the stars, is never fixed. It is always becoming something new. Manaphy is sometimes called the Prince of the Sea, a tiny mythical Pokémon with a heart that seems to beat in rhythm with the ocean itself. Its body glows a bright, gentle blue, and it is often seen drifting happily in warm currents, its long antennae waving like ribbons in the water. Despite its small size, Manaphy holds a special place in Pokémon lore as a creature born from the sea's deepest mysteries. Where it swims, the ocean feels calmer, as if touched by joy. One of Manaphy's most remarkable abilities is Heart Swap, a move unlike any other. With it, Manaphy can exchange stat changes with another Pokémon, trading power or restoring balance in battle. It reflects the Pokémon's theme of connection. Manaphy doesn't just fight, it shares and balances the flow of energy around it. In this way, it embodies empathy, an ability to understand and mirror the hearts of others. Another unique trait of Manaphy is its bond with Phione. When bred with Ditto, Manaphy produces an egg that hatches into Phione, making it the only mythical Pokémon capable of producing offspring. Though Phione never grows into a Manaphy, the relationship between them highlights a theme of lineage and kinship. It is almost as if Manaphy leaves echoes of itself behind in the sea, ensuring its spirit is never truly alone. In the games, Manaphy was first distributed in an unusual way. Players had to use Pokémon Ranger to obtain a special Manaphy egg, which could then be transferred into the main series games. This made it one of the most interactive and memorable event Pokémon of its generation. Receiving Manaphy wasn't just about entering a code or visiting a store. It was a small adventure of its own, tying together different corners of the Pokémon world. In the movies, Manaphy's story is filled with themes of love and family. It bonds with humans and other Pokémon alike, showing that even the smallest creature can carry the largest heart. Its playful personality makes it endearing, yet its ability to command the sea reveals its hidden power. In the end, Manaphy always returns to the ocean, reminding us that the sea itself is its true home. Perhaps most charming of all is the way Manaphy is portrayed as a symbol of innocence. It does not dominate or conquer. Instead, it teaches connection and care. Watching Manaphy drift among the waves feels like listening to the ocean's lullaby, soft, endless, and deeply comforting. Phione is one of the most unusual mythical Pokémon. Unlike its relatives, it does not stand at the center of legends or creation myths. Instead, Phione drifts quietly in the oceans, living a simple and peaceful existence. It looks like a smaller, rounder version of Manaphy, with the same blue glow and playful smile. Yet, despite their similarities, Phione remains its own being, with mysteries that have puzzled trainers for years. The most curious fact about Phione is how it comes into the world. When Manaphy is bred with a Ditto, the egg that hatches contains a Phione. This makes it the only mythical Pokémon that can be obtained through breeding. However, Phione itself cannot evolve back into Manaphy. It is a one-way path, leaving Phione as something like a distant cousin, rather than a child who grows into its parent. This unusual quirk has long fascinated players, who wonder why such a special bond was created. Phione's role in the Pokémon games is quieter than most mythicals. It has balanced stats, none too high or too low, making it more of a gentle supporter than a powerhouse. While it lacks the legendary abilities of many of its peers, Phione has its own charm. It thrives in water, adapts easily, and survives without fanfare. Perhaps its simplicity is what makes it so endearing. Phione is content to drift, play, and explore, without the burden of grand myths. In lore, Phione is said to gather in warm oceans, forming small colonies that bob along with the waves. Trainers who travel far from land sometimes catch glimpses of these playful groups, appearing suddenly and disappearing just as quickly. For many, encountering a cluster of Phione feels like finding a hidden treasure in the vastness of the sea. Phione's design reflects this carefree spirit. Its round body, bright eyes, and ribbon-like antennae make it appear almost toy-like, a creature built for joy rather than battle. Unlike the regal aura of Manaphy, Phione feels more like a wandering child, discovering the world with fresh curiosity. In its simplicity lies a kind of purity that few other mythicals possess. Although Phione has never taken a starring role in films or major stories, its presence carries meaning. It shows that not every mythical has to rule, protect, or command. Some simply exist to remind us of play, of wonder, and of the gentle mysteries hidden in the ocean's waves. And sometimes, that quiet reminder is enough. Darkrai is often remembered as the bringer of nightmares, a shadowy figure that slips into dreams and bends them into unsettling shapes. Yet, its story is more complex than simple fear. In the Pokémon world, Darkrai is not evil by nature. It is a being that cannot help but cause sleep and visions of the night when it draws near. Much like the darkness itself, it is not malicious, only misunderstood. The lore often pairs Darkrai with Cresselia, the lunar Pokémon. Where Darkrai induces restless dreams, Cresselia is said to bring relief and peaceful slumber. Together, they form a balance of night and day, of fear and comfort. In some regions, people tell stories of the Lunar Wing, an item linked to Cresselia that can soothe those tormented by Darkrai's power. This relationship paints Darkrai not as a villain, but as part of a greater harmony. In the games, Darkrai's presence was shrouded in mystery. It was first encountered through events, often hidden behind special items or rare distributions. Trainers who managed to find it discovered that Darkrai possessed Dark Void, a signature move capable of sending entire teams to sleep. For a time, this made it one of the most feared opponents in competitive battles, until later generations balanced its overwhelming strength. Still, its legacy as a nightmare weaver remains strong. Despite its intimidating design, Darkrai has moments in films where it reveals a gentler side. In the movie The Rise of Darkrai, it protected a city from destruction, though the people misunderstood its intentions at first. Only by the end did they realize that Darkrai was a guardian, not a threat. This duality of being feared while quietly protecting others adds depth to its legend. Visually, Darkrai's body is ethereal, like smoke or shadows given shape. The red collar around its neck stands out against the rest of its form, giving it an appearance both ghostly and regal. Its lower body trails off into wisps, as though it could dissolve back into the night at any moment. Shiny versions of Darkrai glow in a deep blue instead of black, making it feel even more dreamlike, as if seen under moonlight. Perhaps the most comforting way to view Darkrai is not as a monster, but as a reminder of balance. Just as sleep can bring both restless dreams and peaceful ones, life carries both shadows and light. Darkrai represents the part of the night that is uncertain, yet necessary. A quiet guardian of the spaces we cannot always control, but must eventually pass through. Shaymin is known as the Gratitude Pokémon, a tiny creature with the power to purify the air and bring life back to the land. When it appears, fields bloom with flowers, and meadows seem to breathe again with new energy. Legends say that when people express true thankfulness, Shaymin can sense it, drifting toward places where gratitude lingers in the air. Its very presence turns barren soil into gardens of color, a quiet miracle of renewal. Shaymin's most familiar form is its land form, where it looks like a small, hedgehog-like creature covered in grass and flowers. It blends into meadows so well that one could almost mistake it for an ordinary plant. This modest design suits its role perfectly. It is not a towering legend, but a hidden guardian watching over the quiet beauty of nature. And when gratitude flows, the flowers on its back bloom into pink Grassidea blossoms, symbols of the joy it brings. But Shaymin also has a second side. With the help of a Grassidea flower, it can transform into sky form. In this state, it becomes larger, sleeker, and takes on grass and flying typing. Its demeanor changes too. Where land form is shy and reserved, sky form is bold and adventurous. It soars through the skies with a playful spirit, reminding us that gratitude can also be uplifting, carrying us higher when we acknowledge the good around us. Shaymin's signature move, Seed Flare, reflects this connection to nature. The attack releases an explosion of energy that can reduce the defenses of its opponents, as though scattering seeds to break open even the hardest ground. It is both powerful and symbolic, showing how even something small can transform its surroundings. In the Pokémon movies, Shaymin plays a unique role. Rather than being a distant figure of legend, it is portrayed as talkative and even a little sassy, surprising many viewers. Yet, beneath its spunky personality is the same message of gratitude. Throughout its journey, Shaymin learns to open its heart to others and to accept help, just as it inspires others to be thankful. Visually, shiny Shaymin adds a lovely twist. Its usual green grass turns a soft, golden hue, making it look like a meadow bathed in sunlight. Whether shyly hiding in fields or soaring through the skies, Shaymin remains a gentle reminder that gratitude transforms the world. Sometimes, simply pausing to give thanks can make the earth bloom again. Arceus is often called the Alpha Pokémon, the one said to have shaped the very universe. Legends claim that it hatched from an egg before the world even existed, and with its 1,000 arms, it began to mold time, space, and all that followed. In this way, Arceus is less a creature and more a living embodiment of creation itself, a figure that stands above myth as the beginning of everything. What sets Arceus apart is its ability to change into any type. With the help of special items called plates, or later Z crystals, Arceus can alter its form to match one of the 18 known types. Its signature move, Judgment, transforms alongside it, striking foes with divine power that matches its current essence. In this way, Arceus is not bound to one role. It becomes whatever the world requires, shifting as fluidly as creation itself. Its design reflects both simplicity and majesty. A white, horse-like figure with a golden wheel circling its body, Arceus looks both organic and divine. The ring has long been interpreted as a symbol of eternity, an endless cycle without beginning or end. When the plates change its form, this wheel glows with different colors, offering a glimpse of its limitless nature. Though minimal in shape, it carries a presence that feels ancient and eternal. In the games, Arceus was originally locked away behind an unused item called the Azure Flute. For years, fans speculated about how to obtain it, creating one of the longest-running mysteries in Pokémon history. Only later did the item finally become usable, granting players the chance to climb the Spear Pillar and encounter Arceus at last. This delayed revelation added to its mystique, as if even the developers wanted to keep Arceus hidden, a secret reserved for the patient. In the wider lore of Sinnoh, Arceus is connected to the creation trio, Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. Each of them governs time, space, and antimatter, said to have been brought into being by Arceus's will. This ties Arceus not only to one region's stories, but to the foundations of the Pokémon world itself. It is the silent architect, watching as the pieces of reality unfold. And yet, for all its grandeur, Arceus has a quiet side. In films and special stories, it is sometimes shown as misunderstood, even vulnerable, its judgment colored by past betrayals. This reminds us that even the strongest legends carry emotion. In Arceus, we see both the vastness of creation and the fragility of trust, woven together into a being that stands at the beginning of all things. Victini is known as the Victory Pokémon, a tiny creature with the remarkable power to bring triumph to those it accompanies. Legends say that any trainer who has Victini by their side is assured of victory, no matter how great the challenge. This belief has made Victini a symbol of hope and encouragement, a gentle reminder that even the smallest spark can light the way to success. One of Victini's most interesting details is its position in the Pokédex. In the Unova region, it is listed as number 000, appearing before even the starter Pokémon. This unusual placement emphasizes its special role. Victini is not just another entry, but the beginning of the journey in its own way. It is as if victory itself is meant to be the foundation upon which Unova's adventures are built. Victini's design reflects warmth and cheerfulness. Its large, V-shaped ears mirror the symbol of victory, while its small body radiates energy. Unlike some mythicals that are elusive or intimidating, Victini greets the world with open eyes and a wide smile. Its shiny form, swapping its orange body for a soft white and cream color, feels like a candle glowing quietly in the night. No matter the form, Victini shines as a beacon of positivity. Its signature move, V-Create, is one of the most powerful fire-type attacks in existence. The move releases a scorching blast of flames, but at the cost of lowering Victini's defenses. This duality is symbolic. True victory often requires courage and sacrifice, and Victini embodies both. In battle, its energy is overwhelming, but in stories, it represents more than strength. It represents the will to keep going, even when it means taking risks. In films, Victini has been portrayed as deeply affectionate, forming close bonds with those it meets. It often brings joy not through battle, but through companionship. In one story, its energy supply was said to be limitless, able to share warmth and strength endlessly with others. This endless energy makes Victini a living source of light, not just for battles, but for hearts that might be weary or afraid. Perhaps what makes Victini most enchanting is its role as a constant encouragement. It shows us that victory is not only about defeating an opponent, but about overcoming doubt, pushing forward, and believing in oneself. In the quiet company of Victini, every step feels lighter, every challenge more manageable. It is less a conqueror and more a friend, carrying with it the promise that tomorrow can be brighter than today. Keldeo is known as the Colt Pokémon, a young and spirited creature who carries the legacy of the Swords of Justice. It is said to have been taken in and raised by Cobalion, Terrakion, and Verisian, who taught it the values of courage, justice, and protection. In this way, Keldeo is not only a mythical Pokémon, but also a student and heir to one of the most respected groups in Pokémon lore. Its story is one of growth, learning, and stepping forward with bravery. Keldeo's typing, water and fighting, is rare and powerful. The water represents its connection to rivers and purity, while the fighting type shows its determination and spirit in battle. This combination allows Keldeo to flow like water, yet strike with strength, making it versatile both in legend and in competition. Its design, with a flowing mane that resembles waves, captures this duality beautifully. A turning point in Keldeo's story comes when it learns its signature move, Secret Sword. This powerful attack allows Keldeo to strike with fighting-type energy that is fueled not by physical strength, but by special attack. The moment it masters Secret Sword, Keldeo changes into its resolute form. In this form, its mane grows larger, and its stance reflects a new confidence. The transformation symbolizes maturity, the moment when a young Pokémon grows into its true role as a protector. In the games, Keldeo was often distributed through events, reinforcing its status as a hidden but treasured figure. Trainers who obtained it were not just adding another battler to their team, but a piece of Unova's mythic story. For many, Keldeo felt less like a prize and more like a companion on their journey, a Pokémon whose courage could inspire their own. In films and stories, Keldeo has often been portrayed as nervous and unsure at first, doubting whether it is truly worthy of being a sword of justice. But with guidance and perseverance, it learns to believe in itself. This narrative resonates deeply. It mirrors the journey of growing up, of learning that bravery does not mean the absence of fear, but the strength to move forward despite it. Perhaps what makes Keldeo most comforting is its spirit of resilience. Its story teaches that even when one feels small or uncertain, courage can grow with time and support. Like water shaping stone, Keldeo shows us that gentle persistence and a brave heart can transform the world. Meloetta is known as the Melody Pokémon, a graceful being tied to music, emotion, and performance. Legends describe it as a spirit that once sang songs so pure that it could calm wars and bring peace to troubled lands. Its voice is said to carry emotions deeper than words, reaching straight to the hearts of those who listen. To encounter Meloetta is to hear the sound of harmony itself, a reminder that beauty can soothe even the harshest of storms. Meloetta has two forms, each expressing a different side of its nature. Its Arya form is elegant and serene, a normal and psychic type that embodies song and stillness. With flowing hair shaped like musical notes, it glides like a dancer across the stage. In this form, it channels psionic energy through its voice, weaving melodies that soothe allies and disarm foes with calm precision. When Meloetta uses its signature move, Relic Song, it transforms into pirouette form. This version shifts its typing to normal and fighting, and its demeanor becomes bold and energetic. Its body straightens, its hair flares outward, and it takes on the pose of a dancer in motion. Pirouette form shows that Meloetta is not only about serenity, but also about strength through rhythm and movement. It teaches that music can inspire both peace and action, stillness and courage. Meloetta's design is rich with musical symbolism. Its eyes resemble treble clefs, and the flowing lines of its hair echo the sweep of notes across a staff. Every part of its appearance feels connected to sound and artistry. Even its shiny form carries a sense of performance, replacing its usual green tones with a gentle orange, like a performer stepping onto a stage bathed in warm light. In the games, Meloetta was often a rare event Pokémon, hidden behind concerts, codes, or special downloads. This mirrored its nature as a performer. You had to seek it out, almost like attending a private recital. For those who found it, Meloetta was more than a battler. It was a companion that brought music into the quiet moments of a journey. Perhaps most touching is Meloetta's role as a symbol of art itself. It represents how song and dance can heal wounds, bring people together, and express emotions that cannot always be spoken aloud. As we listen to Meloetta's story, it reminds us that music is more than sound. It is a universal language, soft enough to carry us into dreams. Genesect is one of the most unusual mythical Pokémon, because its story is not only about nature, but also about human interference. Long ago, it was an ancient bug-type predator, said to have roamed the world as one of the fiercest hunters of its era. Its body was sleek, agile, and perfectly adapted to survival. But in modern times, Team Plasma discovered its remains and revived it through technology. What emerged was not the creature of old, but a new being, fused with a cannon on its back and enhancements that forever changed its destiny. Genesect is bug and steel, a combination that reflects both its natural origins and its forced transformation. The bug side recalls the primal hunter that once ruled long ago, while the steel side shows the cold, mechanical changes added by human hands. This duality gives Genesect an aura of tragedy. It is both ancient and artificial, a Pokémon caught between what it once was and what it was made to be. One of Genesect's defining features is its ability to use special items called drives. These small, disc-like tools can be inserted into the cannon on its back, altering the type of its signature move, Technoblast. With different drives, the move becomes electric, fire, ice, or water, showing that Genesect has been modified into a weapon of adaptability. Though powerful, it raises the question, is Genesect still itself, or is it something entirely new? Despite its fearsome appearance, Genesect is not portrayed as cruel. In films, it is often shown as confused, struggling to understand its place in a world that has changed without it. It remembers the era it once belonged to, yet is forced to exist in a future it did not choose. This makes its story bittersweet, an ancient predator reshaped into something it never asked to become. Visually, Genesect's design captures both grace and menace. Its metallic purple body shines like polished armor, while its glowing red eyes and cannon reveal its engineered side. The shiny version of Genesect deepens its color to a crimson hue, giving it an even more striking presence, as though its body has been reforged in flame. Perhaps the most gentle way to view Genesect is as a reminder of balance. It shows us the dangers of tampering too deeply with nature, of forcing power onto something that was already complete. And yet, Genesect also demonstrates resilience. Despite everything, it continues to exist, adapt, and move forward. In the quiet of the night, its story feels less like that of a weapon and more like that of a survivor. Diancie is often described as a jewel come to life, a Pokémon formed when the pressure of the earth transforms an ordinary Carbink into something rare and radiant. Where Carbink is simple and sturdy, Diancie is elegant and regal, its body adorned with diamonds that gleam like stars in the ground. Because of this, Diancie is sometimes called the Princess of the Underground, a guardian of hidden treasures that rest beneath the surface of the world. Its typing, rock and fairy, reflects this duality beautifully. The rock type connects it to the earth and gemstones, showing its foundation in nature's depths. The fairy type, however, gives it an aura of wonder and magic, lifting it above stone and making it something extraordinary. Together, these types create a sense that Diancie is both grounded and ethereal, a bridge between what lies below and what sparkles above. Diancie's signature move is Diamond Storm, a dazzling burst of crystals that not only strikes opponents but can also raise its own defenses. The attack feels like a shower of light, scattering diamonds across the battlefield. It is as beautiful as it is dangerous, and it mirrors the idea that Diancie protects itself with the very brilliance it creates. In lore, Diancie is revered as a being of rarity and beauty. Legends say that its diamonds can refract light into breathtaking colors, filling caves with shimmering rainbows. Because of this, it is often sought after by those who desire its jewels. But in stories, Diancie is portrayed as elusive, choosing carefully when and to whom it appears. It is not a Pokémon to be captured by greed. It reveals itself only when it senses a heart that is pure. One of the most fascinating details about Diancie is its ability to mega evolve. When it takes on this form, its gems shine even more brilliantly, and its gown-like design becomes even more striking. Mega Diancie embodies grace and power, glowing like a radiant queen of crystals. It is a transformation that seems less about battle and more about showing the full beauty hidden within. Despite its glamorous appearance, Diancie is often portrayed with a humble heart. In films, it begins as uncertain and unsure of its own abilities, only to learn confidence through friendship and courage. This journey makes Diancie relatable, reminding us that even the most radiant jewels begin under pressure, and that true brilliance comes from growth, not just appearance. Hoopa is known as the Mischief Pokémon, a small but powerful being that plays with space itself. With the rings it carries, Hoopa can bend reality, opening portals that allow it to summon objects, treasures, or even other Pokémon from far away. These rings shimmer like golden halos, and through them, entire landscapes can be crossed in an instant. In stories, Hoopa often uses this gift to play pranks, moving items and confusing travelers, not out of cruelty, but out of boundless curiosity. Hoopa has two forms, each telling a different side of its story. In its confined form, it is small, playful, and primarily psychic and ghost type. Here it feels lighthearted, a trickster spirit who enjoys surprising others. But when the seal that binds its power is broken, Hoopa becomes unbound. In this form, it towers over its former self, gaining the psychic and dark typing, and 6 powerful arms that each wield rings of their own. The transformation shows how one being can hold both innocence and immense power within. Its signature moves reflect this mastery of space. Hyperspace Hole, used by its confined form, allows Hoopa to strike through protective barriers, ignoring the usual defenses of its opponents. In its unbound state, it can unleash Hyperspace Fury, a devastating attack that shatters even the strongest shields. These abilities emphasize Hoopa's role as a breaker of boundaries, a Pokémon that refuses to be limited by walls, distance, or rules. In films, Hoopa is portrayed as mischievous yet lovable, a Pokémon that collects treasures and sometimes causes chaos without realizing the trouble it creates. When unsealed, its unbound form can overwhelm those around it, reminding us of the dangers of unchecked power. But at its heart, Hoopa desires connection, not destruction. Its journey often revolves around learning to balance its playful nature with responsibility, showing that even tricksters can grow into protectors. Visually, Hoopa's design captures both playfulness and mystery. Its small, confined form is round and colorful, with a wide smile and bright rings. In contrast, its unbound form is imposing, with a darker palette and a presence that feels almost godlike. This duality makes Hoopa one of the most dynamic mythicals, shifting between joy and awe with a single change. Perhaps the most comforting way to view Hoopa is to see it as a reminder of potential. It shows us that inside even the smallest and most playful spirits lies great power. But it also teaches that power must be guided by kindness, or it can slip beyond control. In the quiet of the night, Hoopa's rings are less portals of chaos and more doorways to endless possibility. Volcanion is known as the steam Pokémon, the only Pokémon to combine the elements of fire and water. At first, this pairing seems impossible. Fire and water are usually opposites, one extinguishing the other. Yet, within Volcanion, the two forces exist in harmony, creating an endless cycle of steam that fuels its power. This unique typing makes Volcanion a symbol of balance, showing that even opposites can coexist when bound by strength and purpose. Volcanion's body is built to contain and release immense pressure. It has a ring-shaped structure on its back, covered in vents that expel hot steam. When it wants to move quickly, it releases this steam in powerful bursts, propelling itself forward like a living engine. The roar of its movement is said to echo through valleys, a sound both awe-inspiring and intimidating. It does not simply walk, it surges, carried by its own power. Its signature move, Steam Eruption, is one of the most devastating water-type attacks in the Pokémon world. Comparable to Scald, but far stronger, it releases boiling water at high pressure, capable of scalding anything in its path. This move reflects Volcanion's essence perfectly, heat and water fused into something unstoppable. In battle, it is a reminder of nature's raw force, a mix of flame and flood that leaves nothing unchanged. In lore, Volcanion is described as a solitary guardian. It hides away in mountains or remote places, far from human eyes, preferring silence to attention. Yet when the land or its people are in danger, Volcanion emerges to protect them. Its reluctance to show itself makes it a mystery to most, but those who encounter it often describe it as a protector, more concerned with duty than recognition. Visually, Volcanion is both rugged and regal. Its crimson body resembles molten rock, hardened yet glowing with inner heat, while the ring on its back makes it appear larger than life. Its design feels mechanical, almost like a piece of living machinery forged in the Earth's core. The shiny version of Volcanion shifts its colors into muted tones of brown and gold, giving it the look of volcanic rock cooled after centuries. Perhaps the most comforting lesson from Volcanion is that strength does not always need to be loud. Though it possesses overwhelming power, it chooses silence and seclusion until it is truly needed. Like steam rising quietly from a spring, its presence is often unnoticed, until the moment it becomes impossible to ignore. Volcanion reminds us that balance, even between opposites, can create something beautiful and strong. Magearna is known as the artificial Pokémon, a being not born of nature, but carefully created by human hands. Its story begins centuries ago, when a skilled artisan built it as a gift for royalty. With delicate gears, intricate designs, and a heart of pure energy, Magearna was more than a machine. It was a companion, imbued with kindness and the ability to feel. In this way, Magearna represents the merging of technology and emotion, a reminder that even creations of metal can carry a soul. At the center of Magearna's body lies the soul heart, a shining core that glows with gentle light. This core is said to sense the emotions of those around it, allowing Magearna to understand feelings and respond with empathy. In battle, its ability named Soul Heart allows it to grow stronger whenever another Pokémon faints, as though it is drawing on the energy of others to continue onward. It is a power both practical and poetic, connecting Magearna's strength to the spirits of those nearby. Magearna's appearance is elegant and ornamental, with a body shaped like a doll dressed in an elaborate gown. Its eyes resemble flower petals, and its golden accents shine like antique craftsmanship. There are even two versions of Magearna, the modern metallic form most players know, and the original color form, painted with soft pastels, which was once thought lost to history. Each design reflects care, artistry, and a sense of timelessness. In the games, Magearna was distributed through special events, often tied to QR codes or rare downloads. This method added to its mystique. It was not a Pokémon one could find in the wild, but one offered as a carefully guarded secret, much like the artifact it represents. To receive Magearna felt like being entrusted with something precious, a treasure passed down from long ago. In the films, Magearna has been portrayed as gentle and protective, willing to sacrifice itself for the ones it loves. Despite being artificial, it shows genuine warmth, proving that compassion does not come only from nature, but can also arise from creation. Its story often touches on themes of friendship and loyalty, showing how true bonds are formed not by origin, but by heart. Perhaps the most soothing aspect of Magearna is the way it embodies care. Built to bring comfort and joy, it reminds us that beauty and kindness can be shaped in many forms. Like a music box that plays a lullaby long after its maker is gone, Magearna carries love forward, echoing it through the ages. Marshadow is one of the most mysterious mythical Pokémon, known as the Gloom Dweller. It hides within the shadows of people and Pokémon, watching silently without being noticed. For a long time, no one even believed it existed, because it is so skilled at blending in. Its presence is like a whisper in the dark, unseen yet always near, reminding us that there are still secrets in the Pokémon world that lie just out of sight. Marshadow's typing is unique, fighting and ghost. These two aspects seem at odds, yet they create a Pokémon that is both strong and elusive. The fighting side gives it the ability to mimic the moves and techniques of others, while the ghost side lets it fade in and out of sight, like a phantom that can never truly be touched. Together, these traits make Marshadow an embodiment of silent strength. Its signature move, Spectral Thief, reflects this perfectly. With it, Marshadow sneaks into its opponent's shadow, stealing away their stat boosts before striking. This ability is both practical and symbolic. Marshadow does not just fight, it learns and adapts, using the energy of others to fuel itself. It teaches us that shadows are not empty, but full of potential waiting to be uncovered. In films, Marshadow has been shown as a silent observer, often testing the worthiness of others. It rarely speaks, but its actions reveal its purpose: to guard, to watch, and to ensure that power is used responsibly. Its appearance in Pokémon the movie, I Choose You, cast it as a guide of sorts, though its stern tests could be mistaken for hostility. Beneath this strict role lies a desire to protect balance. Visually, Marshadow is small and almost unassuming, with a gray body that glows with green flames when it fights in earnest. This glow gives it an otherworldly aura, as if the shadows themselves are alive with spirit. Its shiny form shifts its palette slightly, though it remains subtle, as though it prefers to keep its mysteries hidden. Perhaps what makes Marshadow most fascinating is the way it reflects our own shadows. It reminds us that the unseen parts of ourselves, our quiet thoughts, our hidden strengths, are still very real. Marshadow lives in the spaces between light and dark, teaching us that even what we cannot see may carry power, and in the gentle silence of night, it is comforting to think of a quiet guardian watching over us from the shadows. Zeraora is known as the Thunderclap Pokémon, a feline-like mythical wrapped in lightning. Unlike many other electric types that release bolts from a distance, Zeraora generates and channels electricity through its body, moving so quickly that it becomes a blur of light. Legends say it can tear through the air faster than a storm, leaving only the crackle of static in its wake. For those who glimpse it, Zeraora feels less like a creature and more like living lightning. Its ability, Volt Absorb, makes Zeraora immune to electric attacks, instead turning them into energy to heal itself. This makes it unique among mythical Pokémon. Rather than fearing the storms it runs into, Zeraora embraces them, recharging its body with each strike of power. In a way, it feels like a reminder that challenges, too, can become strength when we learn to take them in rather than resist them. Zeraora's signature move, Plasma Fists, is both striking and symbolic. When it uses this move, Zeraora punches with such voltage that it changes all normal type attacks into electric type for that turn. The imagery is powerful. Even the ordinary becomes charged, transformed into energy by Zeraora's touch. It reflects how presence alone can electrify a moment, changing what once seemed plain into something extraordinary. Though its design looks fierce, with sharp claws, glowing patterns, and a mane like sparks frozen in motion, Zeraora is not portrayed as a destructive force. In stories, it often protects mountain dwellers and those caught in storms, guiding them to safety. Its strength is tempered with care, showing that even beings of thunder can have gentle hearts. This blend of ferocity and kindness makes it one of the more balanced mythicals, a guardian born of the storm. Zeraora's shiny form shifts its yellow body to a pale white, like lightning flashing through thick clouds. This change enhances its aura of mystery, as though it has stepped from the heart of a storm itself. Combined with its glowing eyes and markings, the shiny Zeraora feels even more like a spirit of thunder, fleeting and untouchable. Perhaps what makes Zeraora most comforting is its role as a guide. It embodies the sudden clarity that comes with lightning, a flash of truth, a moment of courage, a spark of hope. In its speed and brilliance, it reminds us that even the fiercest storms carry light within them. And in the quiet after thunder, Zeraora lingers like a guardian, watching over those who walk through the dark. Meltan is one of the tiniest mythical Pokémon, yet it carries a mystery as vast as any of its peers. Its body is made of liquid metal, shifting and flowing like mercury, while its head is shaped like a golden hex nut. At its center floats a single eye, suspended as if by magnetism, giving Meltan an appearance both mechanical and alive. This unusual design makes it one of the most distinctive mythicals ever discovered. Meltan has an insatiable attraction to metal. It feeds by dissolving metal objects into liquid and absorbing them into its body, using the material to sustain itself and grow stronger. In this way, it is like a living magnet, drawn to coins, tools, or even machines. Stories describe groups of Meltan gathering around scraps of metal, their tiny bodies clinking softly as they consume and share the energy. One of the most fascinating aspects of Meltan is that it is the only mythical Pokémon that can evolve. When many Meltan come together, they can merge into a single, larger form, Melmetal. This process reflects its nature as a collective being, showing that its true power lies not in isolation, but in unity. It is a reminder that even small things, when joined together, can become something far greater. In the Pokémon games, Meltan had a very unusual debut. It first appeared in Pokémon Go, surprising players when a strange new figure began spawning unexpectedly. At first, many thought it was a glitch or a placeholder model, but soon it was revealed to be the first mythical Pokémon tied directly to both Pokémon Go and the main series games. This unique introduction made Meltan feel modern and mysterious, bridging worlds just as it bridges pieces of metal into itself. Visually, Meltan balances simplicity with charm. Its liquid body ripples like polished silver, while its nut-shaped head reflects light like a small treasure. Despite its metallic form, Meltan carries a playful and almost childlike energy, bouncing along happily as it explores. Its shiny version changes its eye to a pale blue, giving it a cooler, otherworldly glow that emphasizes its unusual nature. Perhaps most endearing of all is Meltan's role as a reminder of curiosity. It is not a ruler, nor a guardian of myths. It is a wanderer, small and inquisitive, discovering the world piece by piece. In its quiet way, Melton teaches that even the tiniest mysteries can shine, and that wonder is not measured in size, but in spirit. Melmetal is the evolved form of Melton, and with its arrival comes a sense of ancient strength. Legends say that Melmetal was once revered by people thousands of years ago, seen as a living symbol of metalwork and craftsmanship. Where Melton is small and playful, Melmetal is imposing and powerful, its body a fusion of countless Melten combined into one. In this way, Melmetal is not only a Pokémon, but also a reminder of unity, the strength that comes when many gather together as one. Its appearance is striking. Melmetal stands tall, its entire body forged from liquid metal, hardened into solid plates. Bolts, coils, and massive arms give it the look of a giant machine brought to life. In the center of its chest sits a great hex nut, glowing with mysterious energy, much like Melton's floating eye. This design captures both the industrial and the mythical, as though Melmetal is a guardian from an age where metal itself was sacred. Melmetal's signature move, Double Iron Bash, is as unique as its form. It swings its heavy, piston-like arms twice in rapid succession, striking with immense force. The move not only deals damage, but can also cause the opponent to flinch, making it both brutal and overwhelming. Watching Melmetal fight is like watching a colossal machine in motion, precise and unstoppable, yet also graceful in its rhythm. In the lore, Melmetal is described as a creature that disappears for centuries, only to re-emerge when it is needed. Ancient people once worshipped it as a being that could shape metal into tools, weapons, and treasures. The myths say that its body produced the first steel, giving humanity the gift of progress. In this sense, Melmetal is more than a Pokémon. It is a symbol of creation, industry, and transformation. Despite its massive size and power, Melmetal carries a calm, almost statuesque presence. It does not dart or dash like its smaller counterpart, but instead moves with the steady confidence of something that has endured through the ages. Its shiny form, with a darker body and a shining silver core, enhances its aura of timelessness, as though it has been reforged in starlight. Perhaps the most soothing lesson of Melmetal is that true strength comes from unity and patience. What begins as many small, curious Melton becomes one towering guardian, proof that even the smallest beings can create greatness together. In Melmetal, we see the enduring legacy of collaboration, a reminder that strength, like metal, is forged over time. Zarude is known as the rogue monkey Pokémon, a mythical that lives deep within dense jungles. Unlike some mythicals that are small and delicate, Zarude is fierce, moving swiftly through the trees with sharp claws and long vines that extend from its body. It is both feared and respected by those who tell stories of it, for it rules its forest as a guardian, though often with a wild and untamed spirit. Its typing, dark and grass, reflects its dual nature perfectly. The grass side ties Zarude to the jungle it calls home, a protector of the plants and creatures that dwell there. The dark side, however, reveals its harsher edge, the ferocity it shows when outsiders intrude or when its pack is threatened. Together, these elements make Zarude a Pokémon of contrasts, nurturing yet fierce, protective yet intimidating. One of its most unique abilities is jungle healing, its signature move. With it, Zarude can restore its own health and cure status conditions, but it can also extend this gift to its allies. This ability emphasizes its role as a leader of the pack, sharing its strength with others. In battle, it is practical and powerful, but in story, it speaks of community, healing not just the self, but the group as a whole. In films, Zarude has been shown as a protector of its tribe, raising young ones and teaching them how to survive. It is portrayed as stern and sometimes distant, yet deeply loyal to those it cares for. In Pokémon the movie, Secrets of the Jungle, Zarude even takes on the role of a foster parent, raising a human child as its own. This story reveals a softer side beneath its rugged exterior, proving that family is built on love, not just blood. Visually, Zarude carries a primal, imposing presence. Its dark fur is streaked with green, echoing the vines that it wields as whips and ropes. Its glowing red eyes pierce through the canopy, giving it an aura of both danger and authority. In its shiny form, Zarude's colors shift to lighter shades, a rare sight that feels almost like seeing the jungle bathed in sunlight after a storm. Perhaps the most comforting lesson Zarude offers is the importance of protection and belonging. Though it may appear wild and fierce, its actions are rooted in care for its kin and its home. It reminds us that love often comes in many forms, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce, but always powerful. In Zarude's story, we find the strength of family, loyalty, and the bonds that tie us to one another. Pecharunt is the newest mythical Pokémon, introduced in the Scarlet and Violet era, and it carries with it an aura of mystery. Known as the subjugation Pokémon, Pecharunt's design resembles a small, doll-like figure carrying a peach-shaped jar. This vessel is not just for decoration. It is said to contain toxins it can spread, weaving together sweetness and danger in a single form. Its name itself hints at fruit, sweetness, and secrets, blending folklore with an eerie charm. Pecharunt's typing, poison and ghost, reflects its unsettling duality. The poison shows its connection to toxins, potions, and the concept of corruption, while the ghost typing ties it to the spiritual and the unseen. Together, they create a mythical that is not simply mischievous or protective, but one that lingers between life and spirit, sweetness and venom. It is a reminder that appearances can be deceptive, and that power often comes in subtle forms. In its lore, Pecharunt is described as a manipulator. The toxins it creates are not only harmful, they are said to allow it to control others, bending them to its will. This makes it one of the darker mythicals, a figure of whispers and hidden influence rather than overt destruction. Yet, despite its unsettling reputation, there is also fascination. It is fragile and small, yet able to sway those much larger than itself. In this way, Pecharunt represents the quiet strength of subtlety. Visually, Pecharunt carries a haunting yet delicate design. Its small, puppet-like body is decorated with soft pastel colors, almost cute at first glance. But the jar it clutches, glowing with strange energy, gives away its true nature. The mix of innocence and danger in its design reflects the balance of sweetness and poison, something inviting, yet best approached with caution. Its shiny form, as with many mythicals, adds another layer of rarity and allure. The color shifts make it feel even more doll-like, a tiny charm that might sit unnoticed until it stirs to life. The rarity of seeing one only deepens its aura as a hidden treasure of the Pokémon world. Perhaps the most soothing way to think of Pecharunt is as a reminder of the unseen forces around us. Not all strength is loud. Sometimes it works quietly, shaping outcomes from the shadows. Though it may be the newest addition to the mythical family, Pecharunt feels ancient in spirit, a small guardian of secrets, waiting patiently in the background. And so, our journey through the world of mythical Pokémon comes to a close. From Mew, the tiny ancestor of all life, to Pecharunt, the newest guardian of secrets, we have wandered through forests, oceans, skies, and even the stars themselves. Each mythical carries its own story, some of creation, some of protection, some of mischief, and some of quiet wonder. Together, they remind us that myths are not only about power, but about meaning. They show us that strength can be playful, gentle, mysterious, or even hidden away in the smallest of forms. Whether it is Shaman making the earth bloom, Jirachi granting wishes written on slips of paper, or Darkrai teaching us about the balance between dreams and nightmares, Every mythical has its place in the great tapestry of the Pokémon world. As you rest now, let these stories drift like dreams. Picture Celebi carrying you back to moments of peace, Manaphy guiding you through the waves, or Arceus watching over the stars. Imagine the glow of Victini's endless warmth, or the shimmer of Diance's jewels, lighting up the darkness. Each image is a soft step further into calm, where the weight of the day fades away. Though these Pokémon are rare, hidden from ordinary sight, their stories remind us that mystery and magic can be found everywhere. Sometimes in the shadows, sometimes in the sky, sometimes even in the quiet corners of our own lives. They are companions for our imaginations, guardians of sleep and keepers of wonder. So now let the journey rest, just as you will. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and drift peacefully, carrying with you the gentle stories of these mythical beings. The night is long, the dreams are waiting, and you are safe within their company. Good night, and may your dreams be filled with myths, legends, and the quiet magic of worlds unseen.